What's up, guys? It's Ari coming back with a review for The Eye of the World. I pretty much finished the book, so I thought it would be kind of a waste of time to do a read along at this point when I just have a lot to say about it. So I just wanted to get right into it. So yeah, I'm going to be reviewing The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Okay, Eye of the World. What is it about? Basically, we have a character by the name of Rand al'Thor. He is a farmer. He lives with his father. I believe his mother, passed away. And through a series of events in this great introduction that we get, Rand and a few other people from this small little village have to leave. There are these visitors that come into their village, and some unfortunate sort of events happen revolving around the citizens of their home. And these two individuals, named Moiraine and Lan, basically tell them that they are important in some way, shape, or form, and they need to be taken somewhere to safety to escape the grasp of someone known as the Dark One. So our story is basically about this large party adventuring from one point to another, and this whole story is basically traveling. Whatever is happening, it's in the middle of them traveling. And that is a good thing, because it's good to know that they're still moving, they're still trying to get to their destination. But sometimes it does feel like a lull. Not everything that's being said feels like it's necessarily important to what is happening now. I have no doubt that lots of these things that don't have meaning will have meaning. There are 13 other books in this series. But in these moments, sometimes it is just people walking around talking, and sometimes some of these characters, Mat, can be frustrating. But nonetheless, I would say that the overall journey from point A to point B was satisfying by the end. But I will say this: if you are someone who is new to fantasy reading, if you haven't read a lot of fantasy, I would hold back on recommending this book to you. I think that this book requires that you experience other forms of fantasy literature that are a bit more less lore heavy, let's say, and less character heavy in terms of the characters that are coming at us and terminology, and just get you used to the sort of vibe of a fantasy book first. And once you're ready, jump into this. And I think knowing the importance of the Wheel of Time and having read books that I would say are more welcoming to new fantasy readers, I think it'll be easier to read this type of book when you start to see the similarities in all those other books that you checked out. But yeah, that doesn't make it a bad book. It's just that type of book. And I do think it's worth it to read it, because there's a lot. I mean, this is just the first book, and I found it very interesting. And I'm looking forward to The Great Hunt. I think that's next on my list of reads. Yeah, so at this point, we're going straight on to spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, end the video right here, read the book, and come back and check this out. I think the first thing I want to talk about that pops into my head every single moment I was reading that book was the moment when Mat, Rand, and Perrin, they get to Shadar Logoth, and they're literally like camped out. They shouldn't be leaving. There's no honest to God reason they should be leaving. And Mat's apparently so good with his words that he convinces the two of them to do that. I don't buy that. I don't think that. I would literally go to Moiraine at that point and be like, yo man, I don't know what's up with this dude. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, they go, and obviously this ridiculous situation happens with Mordeth, and I don't know, I just, like, what? I couldn't believe they were surprised. Like, how could you be surprised what's happening right now? Like, you just, yeah, but yeah. I want to say Moiraine, one of my favorite characters in the book. I was very terrified for her around the end of the book when she was facing off against two guys that were in the Eye of the World, like that room with the pool. One of the chapters ended with Rand hearing Moraine's screams, and I remember when I'd read that, I had to stop reading because I'd gotten off the train, and I was thinking about it for hours after that until I started reading again, because I didn't realize how much I liked Moraine until that point. And I was very worried for her. Loial was great. I loved everything about him. He was such a sweet man. It was interesting how relaxed he was and humble he was. I hope that he is a character that runs through all of these books. I've seen like photos online, obviously, of Rand and all these other characters and stuff like that. So, yeah. Another important thing I wanted to mention was that I felt like it was very obvious that Rand al'Thor was the dragon for sure. I only hesitated a few times because I was just confused, because I felt like at some points it was almost trying to not convince me that he was the dragon. Yeah. I also am curious if there is a reverse sort of reincarnation for the Shadow. Is there like another thing that can reincarnate? Are those the only two, or is the dragon the only thing that has this sort of reincarnation cycle? Are there multiple people that can reincarnate? You know, what are the rules to the reincarnation? I found the lore about the One Power. I find it intriguing that they're split between male and female. I think it's cool that there's a different energy that they give off. Baalzamon's conversations with the Emnifielders was creepy, but very cool. I'm also curious if Egwene was having these dreams. I mean, I feel like she would have mentioned it, but I don't see why. I mean, I guess it was that he was looking for a boy, like a boy specifically of a certain age, but there were just random moments where I thought I was interpreting that she was potentially responding to these guys in a way that was implying like, oh, she's having these dreams too, but I could be way off on that. Yeah, overall though, I thought it was really cool. I found that the lull for me was those chunks of travel with Rand and Mat. Mat was frustrating me. I understood that he took a knife and obviously something bad was happening to him, but like, holy, he was killing me for a little bit. And eventually I just kind of got over it, but I felt like there was just long chunks of Rand and Mat walking around doing stuff, and Rand going to find help and Mat being like, I don't trust him. And then Rand just being like, dude, we have nothing. Like, we need to get food. He's like, I don't know. Like, okay, once or twice, but like, just kept happening. And I was just kind of like, I get it. I understand. Like, anytime Rand was manipulating the One Power, I thought that was really cool. There was 2 instances I can think of where I felt like he was definitely... Oh, there was one that was for sure the lightning strike that killed the Dark Friend that came to that inn. I think when the boat lurched, that was Rand doing that. When he... What did he do? He like teleported or something to the Blight and like fought off the Fades that were coming at him. I think that's what happened. Yeah, it got pretty crazy. So I mean, this is the first book in a 14-book series, so it's like, I am looking forward to book 2. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and if you have anything you'd like to say in the comments, please comment. Like, share, and subscribe. Obviously, it helps me out a lot. Yeah, but I'll see you in the next review or read-along. We'll find out.